Scleria lithosperma. That's the plant I'm covering now. And that name, Scleria, it has come from Greek. That is, sclere means hardness in Greek. Hardness means like skeleton, they all have the same root. So it's called, it has a hard seed, it seems. Those little things. So that's why it's called lithosperma. I mean Scleria, and this Scleria is a belongs to sedge family called nut rushes in common English language, and it's a big group of about 200 species spread across the tropical world. And this particular one, this Scleria lithosperma, this one it's quite widespread. Almost large parts of tropical Asia it is there, and even in Africa and America also. Florida it's there, it seems. So that's one thing about it, and mainly it occupies degraded forest edges and hill slopes. So now right now I'm sitting at the edge of a little jungly patch, and I want to tell a little bit about it, this plant, this Scleria lithosperma. It has some slight medicinal, it has some interesting chemicals also. It's a cardioprotective, it seems, that rhizome. So these sedge, these nut rushes, sedge family, that is all the Scleria group, they have a rhizome, that is like ginger and all. At the base of the plant, there somewhere underneath there will be a little kind of a nut kind of thing. And this plant is also related to Cyprus rotundus, that is Bhadramushti, which is used in Ayurveda and all. So it has a aromatic root, that rhizome, when it is fresh only, and it grows in little clumps. Perennial, rhizominous, aromatic, when fresh. Culm means this kind of the central portion that comes out. It comes like a like this rattan and some of those plants it comes. I'll show that now. Like this. It has a kind of a shape like that, kind of a flowering type of shape. From that small base, this whole formation happens. And it grows about 1 feet, 1.5 feet and all. It can tolerate lot of shade. That is, all it needs is an hour or two of sunlight, that's all. So it can it also grows quite nicely in pots and all. And these flowers in this camera I can't show much, but in reality these little seeds are like pearls. They are white colored, pearly type of seeds, and it looks pretty. It's also non-demanding. It likes some degree of shade, but otherwise in this in its wild places, in this place, this west coast of Karnataka, it hardly we are after November, December. Normally there is a dry season, and it's quite dry. Like almost 4-5 months there can be no rain and all. This Scleria lithosperma can survive that dry part. So it's a good plant where you can neglect it and it will still survive nicely. Soil and also it's not demanding, and also another speciality of this one, it can grow. It's good for vertical gardens. I've seen this lithosperma on absolute walls of like that red thing what you see over there. In that kind of place also it can come if there's little sunlight. An hour of sunlight, speckled sunlight is enough. It grows very nicely in the vertical surfaces, and if it is grouped together, some 20, 30 and all, if you plant together, it look pretty and nice on a vertical garden also. Then it's long lived, perennial, for years and years it lives. So this is a quite a pretty little plant that I noticed, and it's in all the forest edges and all. You can see in the Western Ghats, degraded forest, hilly slopes and all, it's there. And these flowers, it has male and female flowers are separate, it seems, and the male flowers come on top and the female down. So I think that pollination happens by uh, pollination happens by just gravity or by a wind, I think. And if the seed is, the flower itself is so small, you can imagine the seed size. So that's probably one of the reasons why it is so successfully spread all over the world in the tropical areas, because seeds are so small. A strong cyclonic kind of a weather, if there's a dust storm in Africa, these seeds can land up in Asia like that. So it has spread far and wide, naturalized in many places. And it's a nice plant for people who are interested in native plants. You can grow it and all. It's quite easy. Looks also quite pretty in its own way, but not with these cell phones. You have to look at it in real life. Nice clump formation is there at the bottom. So this is of course wild. So to get an idea about how a plant will perform, what kind of conditions it needs, and all that, it's always good to look at them in the wild. And if you do notice some nice wild plant, let it be over there for others also to enjoy. And those plants feed some local, they have a role, they are there with a purpose. They feed some little bird or insect or something. So let it be, because it's a source of food for somebody, some other creature. And then unless you have a very good purpose, some scientific research or something you want to do, don't take all these pretty plants if you come across them just frivolously, because they're all getting rare and endangered. And every single specimen is important now. The world has reached such a stage of alarming biodiversity loss. Thousands and thousands of species are getting lost every day, and we don't even know what is there in the first place. So in such a situation, every specimen is important, every plant is important. It can be the mother of many other new plants for the next year. So when you're driving through some forested area, Western Ghats and all, if you see something pretty, please don't pluck it. They're all roadside weeds, are so pretty and nice. When there is no invasive species around, only then our plants get a chance to survive and multiply. So it's so tiny. So that's some little information what I could observe and learn about this Scleria lithosperma.